put your hands up or just go, okay, sit back down. I just want to make sure you weren't dead. Okay, so you're alive. This is positive, okay. We're gonna check in every once in a while to make sure you're not dead. Ladies and gentlemen, brothers and sisters, without further ado, I bring you the revelation, the truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God. You've been lied to, misled by Judases and people with not ill intention, but that know no better because they operate podcasts and have not been out in the fields, on their hands and knees, giving blood, sweat, and tears to interactions with people for the last 16 years, or the better part of 2 decades, such as I. So, they cannot tell you what I'm going to tell you. Today, we unwrap the biggest present of 2024, and I unveil to you the truth that has been missing. I give you the correct formula and strategy, so you no longer have to despair and go red pill or MGTOW or passport bro and say you'd like to leave this barren wasteland known as North America or the Western society. I give you an option today in my Morpheus chair. Do you want to continue to live the life that you have been leading, or do you want a choice? Do you want options? Do you want control of your life? Do you want power and abundance to direct your own path? This is what you get today. And then if you choose to stay in this Western society and continue to have relationships, that's on you. But no one can say you failed. You cannot say that you didn't give it your best, and you cannot just easily quit without putting effort, because a real man must put efforts in all endeavors, whether he fails or succeeds, but especially in the ones that he fails, so that he can rise up to the occasion and say that he was not a quitter in any way, shape, or form. So today, what I really give you is choice, but ultimately, I give you pride to not quit. In today's video, we are gonna break down everything that you needed as a social system to have options in dating in 2024 in the Western world with modern day entitled people. So you don't have to quit, so you can actually be successful and actually get what you want. I'm gonna give you the most valuable content that I've ever created here for free in this masterclass, and it will be deleted on January the 1st because it cannot be in existence to society. May I teach it in private programs? Perhaps, but I will not teach it on the internet. I can no longer keep my silence. You know statistics, 30% of men have not had a date in a year, 50% of people are considered lonely, 20% of people are on psychiatric medications for depression and loneliness. This has to stop. There has to be another option. I came from a generation of people called the community, which is a funny word, but it means you went out and you tested things. You found a way to be successful on your own socially. You made it happen. You did not quit and lie down with your face on the ground and let people walk over you. You did something about your life. And today I will give you the formula, the strategies, the lines, the techniques to be successful that you cannot receive anywhere else. All right, so when it comes to this stuff, the dating market means just what's happening in the world, and it's changed. So the dating market is like, it is 50 years ago, you got a wife. Then it's, 40 years ago, birth control was invented. Then it's like 20 years ago, first wave feminism got popular. Then it's like girls now have Instagram. Then it's like girls now have abortions. And then it's like the top percent of women are matching with the top percent of guys. And it just like gets harder and harder and harder. But it's a dating market. So you gotta understand it. It's a market. Oh, if I stand right here, I'm in the sweet spot. Sweet. It's a market, okay? So does anybody do crypto trading, stock trading, financial trading, anything like that? Okay, how old are you guys that do that?
I'm 22.
22, 16, 29? When did you start?
2 years ago. A year ago.
2 years ago, okay. And when you first got into the market, how much did you lose?
Thousands.
A lot, yeah. Like I lost 10,000 the first time I started doing stock trading because I thought I understood. The dating market is just like that. You can get into it if you do the wrong things. It doesn't matter how good your skill is. This is the problem. You guys are walking around trying to have like good skill. You're like, how's my opener? How's my approach? How's my conversation, my vibe, my banter, how is my running out of things to say? This matters, but not as much as understanding the market. And any market can be hacked. Any market can be hacked, right? So that's what I'm saying here. Who is this for? This is for the gentleman who believes that his city is the hardest. It's for the guys that are like traditionally pickup guys. It's for the guys that are traditionally blue pill guys. It's for the guys who are like red pill guys. It's for the guys who are black pill guys. Do you know these terminologies, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody know what red pill is?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's half the room. Red pill is just an idea that's kind of in the West. It's like, you know what? The dating market's fucked up. I'm not even gonna play. I'm not even gonna play because women are bad. They're gonna divorce you and take half your money. What's the point of going on dates? This is like the red pill analogy. The problem with the red pill analogy is that like it's not a solution to everything. You're just kind of thinking about the negative stuff, and then you don't have an answer. I see him nodding your head. It's like if you ever read one of these books on red pill, it's like all girls are gonna cheat on you. All girls have hypergamy. All girls are like eventually gonna like break your heart, take half your money in the divorce. All girls don't respect you until you break up. They don't appreciate anything. So what's the point? Nothing. That's not a solution. Like, as an optimistic person, it's not a solution, right? Can you guys agree with that? Is complaining about the problems a solution? No. All right. So I take it to the next level. I say, all right. For a guy that is a beginner level, can he take advantage of these concepts I'm about to explain to you today? That's what I'm really good at, concepts. And the answer is yes. If you're just a beginner and you're just learning how to like just meet strangers and you get 5 blowouts a night when you talk to people and it's like scary, this stuff I'm talking to you today will save you a lot of burnt time and energy. If you're somebody who's like intermediate level, means like intermediate is like you go out, you get some results, you maybe go to an after party, you make some cool guy friends, you maybe like go on a date once a week. That's intermediate to me, okay? And if you're seeing this, you just gotta be like, oh, write down notes of how Madison does it differently. Like take notes, oh, he does it this way, that's pretty cool. And if you're a guy who's advanced, you're gonna look at this and be like, okay, how can I copy some of what he's doing? It's like, look at me as a peer and say, how can I get better? So what I'm trying to tell you is, even though this concept I'm talking to you about today is an advanced concept, it's not only for advanced people. It's for everybody in this, what? Room. Who's it for?
Everybody in this room.
Everybody in the room. Say it again.
Everybody in the room.
I'm getting you to say this so you can say it to yourself and install it in yourself. Who's it for?
Everyone in the room.
Awesome. It's for everybody in the room. Whatever level you're at, this is for you, okay? So if you're a beginner guy, just be like, oh shit, this is real? Yo, you could do that? You could hack the system? Fuck yeah. Because then it gives you hope, you know? Gives you hope. So I'm gonna teach you how to like play the market, basically. All right. People say, Madison, are you red pill or are you pickup? I'm neither. I just want what works. I'm not addicted to one idea. Like, oh, this guy said this, and Fresh and Fit said that, and like Hamza said that, and like I don't know who else. I don't know. This guy said that. I don't really care. I don't really care. I just want to do what works. The two things I care about are opportunity. Is there an opportunity for me to like do this? And I'm gonna get results. I don't care about anything else. Like ideologies. I'm not a dating guy. People think of me as that because that's what I taught for a bit, but it's not what I am. I don't do that. It's not like my only idea. If I see something else works, I'm hopping on that thing that works. I just want to maximize all the things that work. That's what you want to do in your mindset. Don't be like, it has to be this way. Like, what am I going to do that just works? Okay? Think of it that way. The first concept you must understand in modern day relationships is the concept of micro disrespect. Because back in the day, you would get something called a shit test. Someone would intentionally insult you, tease you, mock you, and you have to be stoic, be calm, secured, and work your way through it. Show you're not affected by it at all. That was a shit test. But now micro disrespect is not directed at you. It's much more subtle. It's underneath the surface, and it's directed at them. Something that they do in their own behavior. A micro disrespect is when you are talking, somebody rudely interrupts and talks over you when it's not their turn and you've been waiting to listen to them. A micro disrespect is when You tell somebody be ready, they come late, and they change the restaurant. I had that happen recently. Somebody was late and they said, you know what, we're not gonna go here. We're gonna go somewhere else. And it sounded like an option. It sounds like something you wanna compromise on if that restaurant is brand new and it just opened up. But let me tell you something. When you're paying, you should be choosing. So somebody cannot just change the restaurant on you. A micro disrespect is when somebody makes fun of your friend, says, I don't like your friend, he's a jerk. Hey, I've known my friends longer than I've known you. I just met you. So my friends come first. Don't talk ill about people like that. My friends who decided to invite you out. A micro disrespect is when you're out with somebody socially, maybe the relationship is not confirmed, but you see them in the corner taking drinks from other men. Ugh, the audacity. A micro disrespect is also when you're out with somebody and they say, what a real man would do, or they disrespect your finances, say, if that's not too expensive for you. These are subtle, under the radar, low-key disses that are meant to just drag you down or to make the other person feel good about themselves. But the problem is that these micro disrespects are a cancer, and if you allow them, they continue to grow far beyond your imagination. Day 1, it's fine. Day 3, it's fine. And day 5, the person just flakes and you don't know what happened and they disappear and they're not picking up your phone call and you're going, where did I go wrong? I did everything I was supposed to do. Where you went wrong, my friend, was the micro disrespect. You allowed it and it took over the situation under the radar, and you didn't even see it. So this must be addressed because the simp society is taking over. Simps are sending cash apps before they meet somebody for a date. Simps are dropping money in OnlyFans to see somebody that they know that won't even hang out with them. It's ridiculous. $40,000 paid to somebody in Bitcoin to have text messages go back and forth. People are expecting the gift before you even meet them. Simp society has ruined it. So the micro disrespect is at an all-time high. The inflation is at an all-time high. It must be addressed the first time it happens. Not when you go home later that night in the evening, not the following day. The micro disrespect must be addressed in that moment. This is what you say. I do not tolerate disrespect. This is the line. I do not tolerate disrespect. Another option is you can say, there is no place for blank in my life. So you're only talking about yourself. You're not talking about what the other person is going to do, what the other person has to conform to, just yourself. How you conduct yourself as a person in the world. Most intentionally, a man in the world. You talk about that. The person may make an excuse, may say, oh, well, da-da-da, and write you off. And at that moment, you leave. Because you cannot negotiate with people who are disrespecting you. There is no place for negotiation. There is no room for tolerance. Because the virus is already there. It must be swiftly eliminated. Here is a new paradigm that we'd like you to understand. Before we would say that attraction is not a choice. You might have heard this from David D'Angelo, and this has been true for all of human history. But now we are at an exponential curve where society and technology has changed the way we interact with each other. So attraction is always there. Understand this. However, you do not cause the attraction. You navigate dating. I'm gonna say it again. You do not what? Cause the attraction. Because you what? You navigate dating. The situation, the marketplace must be navigated. Because you're probably in the mindset of, I must do more, I must show more, I must attract more, I must be more. I have to get the 6 figures. I have to get the 6 feet height somehow with shoe implants. I gotta get the good job. I gotta become high value. I gotta show more attraction. I gotta go to nicer places. I gotta try harder. I gotta game harder. I gotta send more DMs. No. You don't do more, you just navigate what you have. Because everybody is doing more. And it is insane to do what everybody else is doing. Still apply yourself, still put yourself out there, but attraction is not caused. You must navigate dating. This is the dynamic. Another thing I'd like to tell you is you might have seen the situation with Jonathan Majors that happened recently in the news, and the guy's on the phone call, he's talking to his girlfriend. He's like, you should respect me. I'm a great man. I'm trying to do great things. Where did he go wrong? He went wrong in trying to coach toxic. You cannot coach toxic. And many a good man, perhaps such as yourself, has done that. Have you ever tried to coach somebody who's giving you toxic behavior? You try to explain to them what your vision was. You try to explain to them how good you want to treat them and all the things you did, perhaps the fancy things that you brought them, the nice gift that you brought, the vacation you wanted to take them on to Mexico next week, all these things you had planned, all the things you did in the past. And they're like, I'm just not feeling it. I'm not feeling it. Because it doesn't matter. It does not matter. You cannot coach toxic. It's impossible. So Jonathan Major's problem was he should have never had that conversation. And I want to encourage you to never have that conversation. You cannot improve a broken foundation in this day and age of someone. If their foundation is broken, leave it be. That is for them to correct, not for you. And for you to stay there and think, well, the foundation's broken, I can maybe build something on this. You can't. You cannot, because they have every incentive to not build that foundation. If they would have done the work, they would have done it already. If they could have done it, they would have done it already. If they wanted to do it, they would be doing it before they met you. Let them go. Their problem will be the next person's problem. Another concept I want to give you is that attention is your only currency that you have. Nothing else is valuable. Men are cash apping people before they meet them. Men are sending money to Instagram, billion-dollar business. Men are taking people they don't know, they've never met from online dating, never had a face-to-face interaction to the nicest steakhouse. And women invest into themselves. They get a cosmetic surgery so they can get more of that return on that investment. So what is valuable? The only thing that is valuable is your time. And you might say, well, Madison, my time is not valuable because people disrespect my time. You have to create it and make it valuable. You must put a price tag on that attention for it to become valuable. Because everybody might be giving it out for free in excessive amounts, and yours may not be valuable right away, but if you put boundaries and standards on it and limits on it, it will then become valuable and people will appreciate it. Because you cannot give it away for free the way everybody else is. At this moment, it may be worthless, but you can make it worthful. And perhaps not everybody values it, but you're in a better position because your time is not wasted, and you're in a better position because you have put a capital on that resource of attention. Because let me tell you something, everybody else is trying to just like give away their time, their energy, their emotion, their everything for free. They can no longer, after several weeks of dating somebody, then put a capital on their time. It can't be done in reverse. It's impossible. You have to do it from the beginning, my friend. I tell you this because no one else is going to tell you this. There's no other option, and I care about you. Let's talk about texting. I'm going to give you the main potatoes here that nobody else can give you. So you might have tried texting somebody on Instagram or Facebook or one of these applications, and you're sending a lot of messages before you get a phone number. It's pointless. Take somebody's phone that's your friend, that's a female. See how many inboxes she has. See how many DMs she has from friends, family, all these places. So your option is only to get a contact phone number. I didn't say Instagram, I didn't say something else. Phone number in 3 to 5 messages. Arrange the meetup in 3 to 5 messages. Nothing more, nothing less. Because again, your attention has value to it and their attention is sparse. So 3 to 5 messages is a parameter that I want you to work with from now on. Asking people out. I don't want you to say, I'd love to take you out. Let's go on a date. Let's go on a date. When are you free? When are you free? Never say this again. From now on into the foreseeable future, until I converse with you again, I want you to say this. When are you not working? That is a line. Because if you say, when are you free? What's the response? Oh, I'm not free this week. I have this thing with my friend Stephanie from out of town. I have this work party I got into. I'll let you know. And that goes where? Nowhere. That's where it goes. So you have to say, when are you not working? And the person will say, well, I have evenings free. I'm not working on Mondays. I work from home. And get great. We'll hang out then. We'll meet up then. You understand? Second part, the offer you make. I'd love to check out X, Y, Z. I've been meaning to go. It's a great place. I'd love for you to be my guest. You're gonna love it. I invite you to join me. Something along these lines. I'd love you to be my guest. I invite you to join me. You're gonna love it. Propose that you are doing something and you'd like for them to come along. Not that you'd like to take them out. There are no more dates. Dates are gone. Because again, dates have no value. They're thrown at people from every direction to the point they have to say no to great dates. So in order to put a capital on your attention, you must invite people out to meet up with you. Meet up. Dates are reserved for people that you've kissed, to be honest. If you haven't kissed somebody, you should go on a date with them. Why would you? Why would you make an offering to somebody you haven't met? Somebody who has no romantic intention with? That somebody hasn't reciprocated that intention? It makes no sense. Why are you operating that way? It just leads to your demise and destruction and failure in the dating market. Only offer dates to people that you've met up with. Hang out. Hey, I'm doing this. I'm out at this pool bar. You should come by. I'll call you an Uber. Come swing by. Oh, hey, I'm out doing these errands. I'm going to be doing some shopping later on. I'm going to stop for a cafe in a bit. Back in the day, what we do is if somebody doesn't text us back, we respond with a funny joke, or we respond with a long line, long explanation about how they should return phone calls. Doesn't matter. They don't care. There's no emotion invested. Why would they care? From now on, just send a turtle emoji. This comes from my friend Rob. Smart guy. Why does a turtle emoji work? Because it's minimal and it's lighthearted. If you even type a sentence with a question mark at the end, you've already overinvested. You're responding to somebody who hasn't responded to you. You're now double texting and you're asking questions. It's like, no, no, no. What the heck are you doing? What are you doing, bro? Turtle emoji. Maybe a dot after the turtle at the most, but that's it. Eliminate long questions on flaking, eliminate long explanations, eliminate question marks, eliminate memes being funny, because it doesn't get you anywhere. And everybody's doing it. You must do the opposite of everybody else. Another thing you could do is say, you would be so much cuter if you responded with a wink face. This comes from my buddy Sam, smart guy as well over in Australia, okay? You would be so much cuter if you responded. It's a little bit of a tease. It's not a question. It's a joke. It's lighthearted. It's everything that you want. These are your two messages I want you to use for following up and texting for non-responsive people in 2024. Now, suppose you make an offer to a place, time, location to meet you, and the person has an excuse, right? Now, you would think that person would say to you then, well, I can do Friday, or how about next week? Or they make an alternative offer, a counter offer of sorts. But people these days are bombarded with so many offers, they're not going to make it. So if you then propose a counter offer, you've lost all of your negotiating power in a situation. What I recommend that you do, pause, is you say, yeah, huh, Y-A space H-U-H, yeah, huh? That means it's not offensive, you're not offended, it's not like K, okay, it's not like, but what about, you're not making a counter offer, you're saying, yeah, huh, and you leave it at that. So they can then go reflect, realize it was the end of the conversation, and if they actually want to have a conversation with you to continue or even to meet you, both options require them to respond with something positive. And they will most likely say, oh, my bad, or oh, I'm sorry, or oh, hey, how about this other date and time? Now, the day before the event that you meet, text them the night, say, hey, are we still on for tomorrow at whatever time? Make sure it's on. Confirm your dates the night before. I always would recommend calling the night before. Confirm with a phone call. It is the best way. None of this texting and just expecting that they're gonna meet you the date and time that on the day of. No, call the night before. Golden rule. One of the things I love saying to people and explaining to them is that I no longer go on dates. I think the dating frame is broken, as I mentioned. I no longer go on dates. What I say is, yeah, I don't go on dates. Why would I invest my money into going on 3 different occasions with 3 different people for the first time? I'd rather just put all my energy and time into one person. And you don't gotta worry if I cancel on you because I got a better date. You just know where I'm gonna be. And then turn that person as responsible and loyal. And we just meet up and we decide if we wanna do this. We meet up and we give it like a trial relationship. I actually say those words, a trial relationship. Because what's the point of you going on a date with somebody on Friday and then on Sunday they go off to a Ruth Chris or some steakhouse with somebody else? You've now invested your time, energy in somebody that's already lining up the second option, and that person doesn't respect your offer. And they're taking offers from multiple different men. Why would you do that? I had a situation like that, actually. Earlier this year, I had somebody that I met that was going along great. And this person had a friend that came from out of town to spend time with her. She had this other guy that took her out to dinner. And I was sitting there trying to take my time with somebody that was taking offers from other people. And of course the situation ended because she couldn't value the offer, didn't respect me for shutting down the other offers, which is key, right? I'm weakening, I'm ruining that frame, I'm giving in, I'm not competitive, right? I'm giving my resources, which are time, energy, and attention, which are the most valuable things a man has, you're giving the resources for free, she can't respect you. She cannot respect you if she's taking offers from other men in those moments. Doesn't have to even be sensual sex with other men, but she can't respect you if she's taking offers from other men. If you go on a date with me, we've met, you go on a date with me, offers are off the table. You no longer are taking offers. That must be clear. If anything, at least that. And if you do not agree to those terms, we cannot go out. Because I can't have you in the marketplace continuing to take offers while I'm trying to give my best. Doesn't make any sense. When we're on negotiating terms, that's where we are.
Is that like if you're like a 2 guy, and I'm not saying this to like rate anybody badly, but let's say you're a 2 guy, objectively. You don't go to the gym, your finances are poor, you don't groom yourself or get a haircut, you don't get a beard, you don't work on your social skills, you don't have any friends. You are a 2 on a 10 guy. But I believe with what I'm telling you today, you're gonna be able to at least level up that by 2 levels. So what I mean by that is, if you're a 2 out of 10, you can go to a 4 out of 10 in terms of the results that you're getting, at least. That's the minimum. Think of it as like the guy who's homeless and is a drug dealer and likes crack. You know what I'm saying? That guy in the street at least has like a homeless crack woman with him. So if he can have a homeless crack woman with him, why can't you? Right? Makes sense. Like how's he gonna do better than you? How's he gonna level up more than you? Doesn't make any sense. So if he can do it, you could absolutely do it, right? And that means that the average guy is a 5. If the average guy is a 5, that means the average guy, and by the way, that means like we're all pretty much average, okay? Unless you're like super handsome, like Jonathan over here, you got like abs, or like, you know, some shit like that, like your finances are super up. Like we're all about a 5 or a 6. That means that it's very easy for up to level up to at least 2 degrees more. So if you're a 5, you can punch up and get 6s. If you're a 5, you can punch up and get 7s. And once you've actually worked on yourself and done the self-development and done these things, you can go from a guy who's a 7 who gets 8s or gets 9s objectively in their social status, the way they look, people that have careers, people that have ambitions, give to life, etc. Okay? Make sense? Okay, is that like an empowering idea, or is that like I want to be a 1 and get the 10? Okay, because I was thinking about that, like coming and just like selling you a dream. It's like I want to like eat Cheetos in my mom's basement with chopsticks, and I want to play like League of Legends, and I want to like never go to the gym and never get a membership. I want to never get a haircut. I want to never upgrade my fashion. I want to never actually go out, and I want the best. I deserve the best. But you're just fucking delusional, because what would that person want with you? You have nothing to offer them. You got to figure out what you're offering them in order for you to be able to like give something to them, right? So I believe everybody can get up at least 2 levels, at the very least 2 levels, all right? There is no easiest city in the world, guys. Woo! Because now once we get out of that bullshit, we can start to deal with the reality of what is. There's no easiest city in the world. Okay? Every city has its pros and cons. All right? Who heard about Canada and USA? Friendly, yeah. At first. Guess what? We're fake as fuck. In Canada, we are assholes. We're like, oh, hello, good morning. Do you want a coffee and a bagel? And then we're like, I hate that motherfucker, as we walk away. We are fake polite. So you'll get a bunch of phone numbers, but then when you go to call them, they go nowhere. You're like, I thought it was so on. I thought like we liked each other. Like, what happened? And it's like, because it was fake, right? Versus Ruskis. Ruskis. Russians don't like you. They don't even look at you. Like, I'm not interested. You are not a real man. You wear sandals. You know? Put on shoes. Put on dress. I was on a date with a Russian girl last night. She's like, you wore a collared shirt. That's why I like you. I never date a man with sleeveless shirt. I was like, okay, cool, thank you. I'm like, and, you know, and that's how it is. It's like it's not that it's harder there. It's just that they have certain expectations. But once you're with a Russian girl for 2 or 3 dates, what will eventually happen is you're in. Like you're in. So Israel's not harder, guys. You guys just don't have a strategy. You guys just don't know what the fuck you're doing. You have no idea what the fuck you're doing. You're running around like chickens with your head cut off. You're like, I'm just gonna go do this, I don't know, Owen approach. I'm gonna like high five her and spin handshake and pick her up or something. I don't know. Or like, hey baby, I don't know what you're doing. Oh, here's what you're doing. Yeah. I was on the beach the other day. I went to the beach and I saw 3 coaches there. They're like, Madison, good fan of your work. Maybe you're in this room right now, okay? I don't remember your faces, so I'm not gonna pick on you, okay? Local pickup coaches, local dating coaches, and I see them throw their student, like on the beach, right? They throw their student into the interaction. The guy goes, he's like this, blocks the girl gets freaked out, and he's like, okay, good job. And I'm like, this guy has no idea what he's doing. He can't coach the guy, right? And for every city, you just gotta adjust your angle, adjust what you're doing. You gotta play the market a little bit differently. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. You don't go into Jimmy Woo the same way you go into, was it Sugar Bar? What's it called again? Speak Easy. You don't go to Zuzu the same way you go into Speak Easy. It's different. You don't go to Hilton Bay the same way you go into, I don't know, fucking some other like college bar, like the Prince. Okay? It's a different approach everywhere that you go. You guys understanding what I'm saying here? Yeah. So resonating with you, is it making sense? If it makes sense with you, just say I.
Aye.
Good. All right. We're sure connecting with you. So, when you can see this lovely slide here, it says your skills suck and your strategy is crap. Your skills suck and your strategy is crap. It's going to be one of the two. Either your skill is good, but you have no strategy, or your strategy is bad, but you have no skill. I have a plug-in light if I need to plug it in. I have a plug-in cord for it in the back by the bar. Okay? So it's one of the two. It's going to be one of the two. So another thing to realize is your life will look like shit until you get this result. Get this mind frame out of your head that it's going to be easier somewhere else, because that's just a victim mindset. That doesn't help you get any further. It doesn't help you get any further. It's like, well, oh, the rent in Tel Aviv is many, many shekels. It's like, well, it's also expensive in New York. But why do you think New York is easier? It's like everything has its pros and its cons.
Now, believe it or not, there are going to be many people that hear these truths and they will ignore them, because it's easier to ignore the truth than it is to take responsibility in action. But those people are losers, and they deserve their genes to be weeded out of existence, to no longer go on and spread their seed or have a legacy. Is that what you want? If you're listening to this far, I think you're somebody who wants to have results in your life. You put in the work in other areas, and you want to have results in your relationships and romantically. And I believe you deserve that if you apply what I'm telling you, okay? Now, this is the what is important. You might want some help with the how too. Can I help you with that? I have something called a boot camp program. And right now, until the end of the year, until January 1st, you have literally maybe 2 or 3 more days to do this. Take advantage of a crazy promotion right now that we have. I'm actually losing money on this, but I'm doing it because I want these lessons and information to continue and go on even without me. For now, until January 1st, you can get a $3,000 gift from me. And that is conversation mentoring. That's 8 weeks of mentoring with me you can do virtually from anywhere in the world. I'd recommend you start that free mentoring now and then work up until the date when your boot camp arrives. A boot camp is a program where I come with you live in the field in your hometown to bars, lounges, and nightclubs. I demonstrate for you and I lift you up to my level. You're gonna see somebody at a world-class level doing this. And I'll answer all of your questions personally and teach you personally. Again, you can't get this information on a podcast. You can't get this information anywhere else. So get this information before it's not available to the public. Learn. Get this area of your life handled. Level up. I don't want your life to be, flushed down the toilet. I want to see you get results. I don't want you in 5 years wondering, well, what would have been my life if I changed or I took a different action or actually applied myself? Well, you're there with your money and your job, depressed and alone with 4 dogs. That's not what I want for you. You deserve better, all right? So there is a link in the description and the comments. I want you to go and click it right now. Do it now. Now, not later. Don't delay. Don't say, I'll remember later like everybody else who's a pussyfooting around. Do it now. Fill it up. There's a brief application, a few questions, and you may be selected, okay? I work with people that are serious, committed, and want results. And if you're one of those people, I will find the way to make it happen. Don't worry about finances. We'll be creative. We'll be flexible and find a way to make it work. I want to leave no man behind here, all right? So do you believe in me? What I've shown you so far? What I'm going to continue to show you? If you believe in that, if you don't believe in yourself, you just need the right system and the accountability. And that's what I got for you here. Click the link in the description and in the comments. Apply to work with me. I want to introduce you to a concept that I call verbal Aikido buckets. And that is the idea of taking anything that you say that's mundane and boring and reframing it in an interesting way that hits one of what we call the attraction switches. Attraction switches are leader of men, a person who's outgoing, determined, is resourceful, ambitious. These are attraction switches because as a man, you live logically in what you've completed. And generally, when we're talking to a woman, they live in the emotions of what could happen. Where are the possibilities? Where's the fun? Where's the adventure? So take anything that you are doing that is mundane and reframe it in a way that's exciting for the other person to even listen to. You know, if you made a sandwich this morning, it's like, hey, you're on a special diet, you're counting your macros. This is the summer of getting ripped. That's your sandwich. You know what I'm saying? If you went to buy some new equipment, it's like, hey, I'm starting a new side hustle. It's a project. It's gonna take some of my time, but I'm excited to do it. Anything that you are doing that you could just easily pass off, explain the meaning of why you're doing it. Explain the adventure of why you're doing it. Invite the person along with you. That's what makes it exciting, not the mundane things that you're doing. So the buckets that you should put your adventures into and things you're doing is 4 of them. Dangerous, adventurous, I would say resourceful, and masculine. Let's call it those 4, okay? Danger, resourceful, adventurous, masculine. Anything you're doing, flip it into one of those and you'll do great. All of your in-between mundane communication that you don't know where it's going or what to do with it, it'll have a purpose, it'll have a direction, and you'll see much better results in your interactions. I want to introduce you to a super advanced concept here, and it's not fully fleshed out, but I want to deliver it to you anyways. And it's going to sound simple when I first relate it to you. You're going to think about it in comparison to other things you've heard, but it's actually very different. The concept is living rent-free in somebody's head. Now, why is this important? Well, back in the day, when I say back in the day, I mean pre-pandemic and pre-Instagram really blowing up the way that it did. We would maybe try to talk to somebody frequently, every second day, send them a message maybe every day, talk to them on text, and you could be in their head in that way. And you could create what's called a bubble of love, we call it, where it's you and them have an energy, it's exciting, you're excited, they're excited, it's building up towards somewhere. You're both maybe flirting throughout the day, sharing moments of your day, and it builds up. That bubble of love is harder to do now because people have so many messages and emails they're dealing with, it's hard to create a consistency. You might have somebody that's actually into you, not answer for 5 days, or go on a trip and forget, and just post their stories but forget to get back at you. So now the option is to live in their head rent-free. This is the idea of what seduction is, right? Perhaps even maybe you've heard of Casanova back in the day, the famous seducer. And he didn't have text messages or whatever. They had to probably write messages on a piece of paper and send it by courier to get to somebody. But during that time in between, that's where the attraction is created. Attraction is created when you're away from somebody, when you're living in their head rent-free. One technique you can do this in this day and age is when you see somebody on Instagram post something that's fun and exciting, or it's kind of like strange, new bar, new restaurant, you can write them, "Are you in town?" They might respond with yes, or they might respond with no. Doesn't really matter what the response is. Your follow-up response would be, you've changed. Which is kind of interesting, like, what do you mean by that? It creates open loops, open questions. When you say, you've changed. And they'll say, what's that mean? Or is that a joke? Or like, how so? Haha. And then your comment will be, I'll tell you when I meet you. Or I'll tell you when you get back. We'll talk about it when you get back. So now you've taken a position in that person's mind with an open looped idea, open looped question that they want to have resolved and completed. And you're now living in their head rent free. I'm going to tell you a story. I don't recommend you do this, but I had a buddy of mine who was supposed to meet up with somebody at a club. He was unable to make it. They were actually in the club. They said, come to the club. We're here. And he said, I'm here and I don't see you. Meanwhile, he's actually in his house chilling and sleeping. He's like, I'm here, I don't see you. And she's like, where are you? He's like, I'm upstairs. He's like, I don't see you, I'm here. He's like, then he wrote, I can't believe this. What the F? And just left it at that. So what do you think happened after that? 9 in the morning, they're calling, where are you? The next day, did you come? I didn't see you, I'm so sorry. And the next day, he's like, just come over. They came over and had a great time. See, but what happened in that process is that there was an unresolved, open-ended loop in that person's mind. He lived in their head rent-free up until 9 o'clock on the next day, and then the next day they closed the loop. So again, seduction is created in those moments when you're away from somebody, not when you're necessarily with them. The excitement and the arousal comes from being in their head and having a position in their head that they're willing to say no to other offers because they're thinking about you. What I've told you so far doesn't come from ideas, concepts. It comes from my international, almost like research and development team. You know that I've coached 2,300 people at my live seminars and programs around the world. Some of my ex-students are now friends, and I also have guys that are at elite levels of social skills that are my friends. And I write them every few weeks. We have a chat group and I actually say, how's this working for you? What's going on in that part of the country? What's the things that you notice are happening? And we all compile this information together and we talk and we compare notes and we analyze and we practice. And what I've shared with you so far is some of the key things that we've realized are now in play. The new dynamics. You know what to do, but you don't have the blueprint of how. So while you have a moment, while it's still available, get my digital programs that are the dating ones. They're available right now. My digital dating programs will be deleted as of January 1st. We have Boss, which is the execution of inner game, how to become a boss in your own right. We have Get Your 10, which is you now becoming a 10 on 10 individual in your social circle, your life, your status, your mentality, resonating with high value people so they're attracted to you. And we have Bootcamp at Home, which is a digital version of a boot camp you can do if I perhaps am not coming to your city. Get one of these digital programs if it's all that you can get right now, right? If it's within your budget, there's options for you and make that available. They're, I think, 94% off right now, which is unbelievable. The website is the Ultimate Madison Bundle, okay? You can go get that right now. It's available until January 1st. Then we're removing all these dating programs. I'm going on to something that's gonna be new and exciting that I'm excited to share with you, but I gotta build that out, all right? But if you wanna get the hardcore information, the secret material that nobody else is ever gonna have in the history again, this is the last time that they're available. And I encourage you to do so and get them. And with all my digital programs, there is a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you get it and you're not completely satisfied, you can return it. But I know you will be completely satisfied because I do everything in my effort to make you satisfied. This is why I'm here, to serve. And of course, as I mentioned, there are the in-person trainings that you can do as well that are the bootcamp programs where I come to your city. Again, I'm coming to Bogota, Colombia, Montreal, Toronto, Ottawa in February. And then I have around May, I believe, I have a European tour where I'm doing Oslo, Amsterdam, Prague, and Budapest. You know, when you take one of these programs, I want you the week later to be on an unbelievable high, the biggest high of your life, where you feel like you can walk into a room, dominate the room, express yourself, meet new people, you're just unstoppable. A month later, I want you to have several dating options. People actually tell me, yo, I met several people and I have a great life. I have total abundance. And a year later, if you want, the person of your dreams, you're in a committed relationship, maybe you're living with them, traveling the world, doing projects together, meeting each other's family, or perhaps starting a family of your own with them. That's what I want for you, and all that is possible. What's a good time like now to get your life handled? Obviously, it's right now. It's absolutely right now. Don't continue to do what you did before. Obviously did not work. That's why you're here. You wouldn't be here watching this if what you did got you where you wanted to. Take advantage of the information. Use my accountability. Learn from me. And never go back to the way your life was before again. To be perfectly honest with you, my life is great. I already have all this. I've already done all this. All this is working for me. The reason I'm making this video is just to kind of leave it behind for those that are hardcore and serious and want the information that they can't get anywhere else. I'm totally satisfied. I'm happy. I'm great. I don't need your money. But if you want to invest into yourself, I'd highly recommend you do that. That may be one of the best investments you make because you are a stock that will only go up if you take this information and you apply it and you invest into yourself in the future. So again, links down below in the description, in the comment section. Click the links. I'd love to hear what you think about this video. I'd love to see your comments on it. If you ask me for further detail on how to do something, I can't do it in the comments. Obviously, it's something that must be shown to you. So I will answer questions in the comments. I will answer your concerns. I will do that. I love reading every comment. I respond to them personally in the first 24 hours. If you want to see longer form manifestos like this, I'll put one up here about high value relationships and interactions. And I'll put my playlist of other ones up here. All right, let's keep going. It was a pleasure making this video for you. It was a pleasure updating your skills. I look forward to seeing you in person on a program in the future.